Hello everybody, come on in, sit back, relax. And if you're new here, don't worry, there's more than enough room in here for everybody to see this. Now, I'm your host, Campbell G.I. Customs and Collections. Everybody knows that. If you don't, I'm just telling you the ones who don't know. This is my smiley face. Okay, so what we have here for today, and it says in the thumbnail, we have this sort of busted up Ram motorcycle. This part here is not broken, it's just disconnected. But this part here is pretty much in a sorry state. So without further ado, but slow down. I want to look at fixing this, but also do a custom. So without further ado, let's see what we can do. Okay, as you can see here with this Ram motorcycle, nothing wrong with the Gatling gun on the side. That is perfectly good and all that. It's all the pegs are there and quite sound, so we'll leave that alone for this stage of the game. And you can see straight away the forks here are basically snapped off, and you can see that someone's actually put some super glue on here, but obviously didn't work. And I believe there's a side peg here that is snapped off, so we'll look at making something up with that. Saddlebags are all good, so let's see what we can do here. So it's quite an unusual brake here, but look, if I go into this, you can see that it turns quite well. So I need to apply super glue on that, but so they can still turn. So what I'm thinking about, and there isn't much of this, so I'm thinking about using my super glue plastic from Loctites. So this part here is the actuator, or the so it basically actuates and sets faster. So hopefully we've got enough of this stuff to make a good bond. So that turns quite nicely actually. I know what you're thinking. I could have drilled a hole and put a peg in there, but I really want this to work. Okay, so as I suspected, there's not much left in here, so let's go through this point like so. See, I don't need too much. So I've got my glue station, and hopefully this works. Yep, sweet, there's a bit of glue out there. Awesome. I better get some more of that. So using a meat skewer, I just want enough on there to create a really good bond, which I think it will. But I still want to turn it. So here we go, moment of truth. Okay, I'm going to leave that alone for 24 hours. And then we'll get back to, hopefully that will still work, to this repair. Alright guys, see you very, very soon. Alright, moment of truth. Love it. Yes, awesome. And it's the same one because look, there's that piece that's broken. So yeah, I'm happy with that. So I suppose the next course of action is to replace this. Okay, to repair this, I suppose, other stand here, I want to go old school, old school. So what I've got here is the old coat hangers that you get from socks and all that. So don't ever chuck these out. These are awesome. I've already got a piece cut out. And all I have to do is basically sand that down. I'm going to drill a hole into that, into this. And then Bob's your uncle. So, right, let me get some tools and we can go ahead and start sort of shaping this up first and then gluing it up. Okay, let's have a quick measure up of what the size will be. It looks to me like it's about 8mm on that. Yeah, about 8mm. Okay. So I may have to zoom in for this one. Whoa. I'm going to go with 10, and I can always shape it down. Like sand it back. So that's a little scribe that I had. And I got myself some side cutters. These are really great for plastic. So hopefully you can still in the shot. But it does a nice clean cut. And that might be exactly 8mm. Or might be still with 10. So it's saying it's 9mm. So 8.5. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. So I've got the overall shape that I want. I'm happy with that. So what I'm going to do now is just actually draw a hole into that. And also basically sand that down a bit too. So I'll get my plastic snips and just get a bit of a trim. That's done a good job. Yep, happy with that. Alright, so I've got the pieces here. I've got my glue station. Got my super glue. This is a super glue gel. It's a new product I've used. And it's not too bad. And I've got my trusty pliers kit. So I'm using the snips here. So first of all, get that glue right on here. And it's gone all the way through. I'm not worried about that. really. I kind of knew it would. And maybe it better is all the way across. So I'll just slice that off now at any height. And I'll probably look at trimming it about here. So I'm going to take it away. It's going to fire back in my hand, as it does. And what I might do is actually just get this piece here. What I might definitely will do. Look at that. A new foot peg, like so. And once again, I'll leave it alone for 24 hours. I just realised also, I've got to remember to do the kickstand too. So while it's waiting to dry, I'll look at what I can do to repair that. Okay, let's get ready to do this kickstand. So I removed the old one off, and I've got another one here. See, I've got the version 2 of Grunt. So let's have a quick measure up of what that should be. And also it sits about like 20 mils. And that's from... No, I lied. That's not 20 mils. It looks like it's sitting about 18 mils. So that's the measurement I need to do. But what I need to do to figure it out is what's going to go in its place. And what I've just found, and in my scrap of bits and pieces, I've got this piece here. So that will fit in there quite nicely. And I'll start to drill a hole, which you can sort of see I've sort of tested the plastic. I'll put this pin in like so. And from there, I'll put this piece, which should be sitting about 20 mils. Or 18. So yeah, it's about 18. So we'll get this out of the way. I'll zoom in a bit. I'm going to use this drill bit right here. And start drilling into us. Okay, so behind the scenes I've marked out where I want to cut this, and also I've drilled all the way across, and I also marked there, so I just need to cut that down. So I'll probably just get that onto my hacksaw, so I'll chop that down right now, and we'll get started into making this. So also I need to remove this part as well. But anyway, let me get back to cutting this part, and I'll see you guys soon. Okay, so that's all cut to shape, size I should say. Now I'll just trim this off, and he's using my plastic snips here. Right, so what I'm going to do is basically put that in like so. put this across here. Which is easier said than done. Awesome, that's done. And now I'll just trim this part here. And basically super glue that right there. So once again, get my glue station. Which I'm running out. It's probably as easy as to plant this on here. I might actually get some baking soda on this too. Alright, so a little bit of baking soda. Well, that's the kickstand. I've just had to basically wait for that to dry. You know, obviously 24 hours. And then we'll sort of see what we'll go do next. But honestly, I'm thinking I'm running out of time. So we'll have to sort of play this by ear. Okay, everybody, as you can see, the disaster happened. As I was playing around with the new kickstand, I was actually quite happy how it looked. Don't worry about the white sort of glue stuff. That's going to be disguised. As you can see, yep, this snapped off, and literally I was horrified and disgusted with myself. But it is what it is. I tried to drill a hole and see if I can repair it by a paper clip, but I realised that was not going to work because I still want this to function. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use good old-fashioned Lego and this piece here, and that should turn. So what I'll do is I'll take this, well, I just did, took the rubber wheel off. I will drill a hole into this, and then I will drill a hole into that, which is almost there anyway, and that will stick out, and basically should be tickety-boo. So this repair has taken a turn for its worse, but hey, never mind, we'll get in there and suss it out. Right, so I'm doing a real crude way. I could use my digital calipers or verniers, but that's pretty much close to that size actually, and it's an 8mm drill bit. So I will literally put this in the drill. Right, so that hole is now drilled out, and let's see if that's been, if I can place that in there like so, not crooked, but That's pretty cool, actually. That's that there's a nice snug fit. It's a little bit on the high side, but honestly, I don't think anyone's going to notice that. And then what I've got to do here is drill that hole out and trim some of this plastic off. Okay. To be honest with you, I think I just need to start cutting this off. Yeah, like that. That's not bad, actually. Right, I'll just apply a bit of glue on here. And then straight on the forks. And then leave that alone for 24 hours. So I'm not sure what Lego part I used for this. It was something that I had lying around. There's a serial number right here. But, you know, does the job. I've got to thank Toy Poloi for that sort of thing when he uses Lego a lot. I should be able to put that in now and it shouldn't really interfere, but really, honestly, I don't want to risk it. So let's just leave it alone for 24 hours and then come back and put it on there. That is on an angle, so maybe I should really glue that on there. Yeah, maybe I would. I'll just throw a bit of glue on there. That was do his job. And it should be great. Alright. Okay, so it's now been 24 hours. And that has set quite nicely. Let's go ahead and put this on here. Not bad. Probably moves around a bit too much. So what I might do is get some plumber's tape. Alright, so I've got myself some plumber's tape. I'm just going to cut off a little bit like that. Doesn't need too much. And I'll wrap this around here. As I said, I don't actually need too much. There you go, that's a much better job. So quite happy with that. That's really good. Well, that's everybody. That's all the time I have for you right now. This is the repair stage of this vehicle. Remember, this is also a two-parter. It didn't meant to be, but because I broke that, it is what it is. The second part, I'm going to give this a paint job, and it's going to belong to a sub-team. What sub-team you're thinking about? I don't know. Please leave a sort of guess on the comments to whatever this is going to be. This is going to surprise you for next week anyway. So I'll just put that down and safely. I don't want to re-break it. Now, also, all you guys who are new here, welcome aboard. As I said, I'm quite friendly. Hashtag GeoJo family. And I hope you subscribe. Cheers. Hit a like button. That's awesome. Hit the notification bell up there. Don't forget, I'm also the co-host of the Barracks podcast up there. Check that channel out too. I'll leave a link to that in the descriptions. Also, another thing is that I have channel memberships, right? So on this channel membership, I'm going to be doing the stickers that I got from Toy Hack to this Triple T. That will be on that. And then Sergeant Sorter will be more than happy to have his vehicle back. So once again, everybody, like, share, and subscribe. You know the drill. And until next time, see you later.